Sweet dreams.
Welcome back, friends, strangers, and enemies. So, how many of you knew that I was Devil May Cry fan? Well, it should have been pretty apparent. After all, the design of my other self was inspired partly by Dante. I own all the games on multiple consoles. Devil May Cry the anime, Devil May Cry the sword, Devil May Cry the guns,
Merchandising! Merchandising!
Devil May Cry the amulet. And naturally, I would want to own a couple of the Devil May Cry figurines as well. A couple of which are smaller scale, but for this review, I am going to be focusing on the Asmus collectible 6th scale Dante from Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening.
I do also hope to add Lady and Virgil to my collection down the line, but let's take this one step at a time. A little bit of background on the character of Dante, for those of you who don't know. Dante is a half-devil devil hunter, the son of the demon Sparda and a human woman named Eva. He was born twins with his brother Virgil, an arrogant, power-hungry devil who holds some animosity towards Dante, to which his brother reciprocates. Dante sports a red long coat, a sword, which was a memento of his father, 2 handguns called Ebony and Ivory, and a plethora of other weapons known as devil arms, sentient weapons which are the manifestation of defeated demons. When he isn't kicking demon ass and delivering snarky comments, Dante can typically be found lazing around his office, the Devil May Cry, while racking up debt and chowing down on pizza. Sounds like a pretty good deal if you ask me. You know, except for the debt. And the fact that he's gotten screwed by Lady on a number of occasions. And not in the feel-good way. Still, pizza, immortality, and weapons. Gotta enjoy the important things, right? Before taking a look at the figurine itself, let's take a look at the box. The cover art has a close-up of Dante as he was shown in the Devil May Cry 3 game, and while it may be hard to see in person, this actually shows up a bit better in the video. You can see the hazy translucent white of the title, Devil May Cry, here in the background. Not really sure why they decided to go for this. There's plenty of room on the box to put the logo elsewhere. We do have the Asmus Collectibles and Capcom logos in the lower left and right. Would have been easy enough to put the other logo above his head or slap it right above the Asmus Toys one, right down here. They do have it displayed here on the right-hand side of the box. And in the upper right-hand corner here, it says Premium Leather. I assume that is in reference to his coat. The left-hand side of the box here has a hazier version of the same Dante art from the front of the box, where it again sports the name, Asmus Collectibles, in both English and Japanese as well. Both the bottom and the top of the box are more logos. And now onto the back of the box. Okay, here we have Dante in another pose, the Devil May Cry logo again, and okay, this is strange. I am not sure if that is a typo, or if this is meant to be an advertisement for one of the other figurines. Right above Dante's bio here, it says Devil May Cry Lady. Yeah, if this is a mistake, that is a pretty big one. And below that, we have the bio on the character. Dante is a smug, flippant devil hunter with a heart of gold. Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening precedes the first game and features the youngest version of protagonist Dante, the hybrid son of demon Sparda and human Eva. His journey begins as Arkham visits Dante's yet-to-be-named hunter shop and sets off on a quest to find his evil twin brother, Virgil. In the climax battle, Dante prevents the opening of the portal to the demon world, prevails over Virgil, and claims ownership of Force Edge, the sword that possesses the power of Sparda. The prequel provides the meaning to the game's name, as Dante weeps for the loss of Virgil, and builds up Dante's purpose as a devil hunter. Oh yeah, and the Devils Never Cry quote is up there too. Kinda skirted past that for a moment there. Below the bio, we have a thank you and a disclaimer from the manufacturers and some other warnings. Do not expose... Expose? Okay, apparently you spell expose with a C instead of an X here. Do not expose to direct sunlight or ingest small parts. Some instructions on how not to clean figurine. Then below that we have more credit to the manufacturers, as well as all links to their social media accounts. Now onto the figurine itself. I actually bought this one secondhand from a seller on eBay, so unfortunately some of the alternate hands are missing. And I can only assume that there was supposed to be an alternate head here where the other empty space was. Also, the packaging has been a bit cracked towards the top. It looks like we at least have the ones crucial for him to pose with his weapons, so I'm guessing that the alternative hands must have been completely closed up or open-palmed versions. Actually, I don't need to guess. It shows me exactly what I was missing in the instruction pamphlet, and I was right. The leather long coat of his was manufactured pretty damn well here compared to a few other figurines I own. The Leon S. Kennedy figurine that I ordered a few moons back had a leather jacket which just ended up crumbling into a sawdust-like substance when I displayed him, and Wesker isn't faring any better under his long coat. You can imagine I was a little worried about a similar issue with Dante here, but this one's actually well made. Same could be said about the pants. I'm not seeing any breaches or tears anywhere. Breaches. Did I just make an unintentional pants pun? Okay, moving on. Yeah, no breaches or tears, no pun intended. But there is this one protruding string down here. I'm not going to mess around with that, though. I know from experience what happens when you tug on a loose thread. Boots are made of rubber, naturally, but so are the zippers and straps. I guess it would be a little ludicrous to use leather and zippers here, too, so... Oh yeah, and also this. Alright, now I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this in the lighting that I have here, but on his face you can see some faint wrinkles around the eyes, and the skin is textured to show pores as well. Same with the chest here. That is some amazing attention to detail right there. He also sports a holster here, which is made of leather and holds his guns. Speaking of the guns, let's move on to the accessories. So apparently there were two versions of this character. There was the original run of the figurine, and there was a deluxe version that included a handful of other Devilons. This one here is the former, and the reason I decided to purchase this mainly was for this weapon right here. Sparda's sword, Force Edge. But since I bought this from somebody on eBay... Yeah, okay, maybe I could try shaping this and fixing it, but this is disappointing. The blade is also a little loose and wobbly here. But you can remove the skull ornament on the bottom here, so it'll easily fit into Dante's hands. Props to the designer for that. In addition to the broken sword, we also have Dante's rebellion prior to its awakened state in the later entries. The only thing that I see wrong with this is the horns. I think they may be a little bit too short. If memory serves me correctly, they portrayed a bit longer and they weren't curved like this in the third game. Also, check this out. The thing magnetizes to his back. Cool. Now on to the guns. One of my favorite subjects. Alright, so I absolutely love the fact that they included the portraits on the grips instead of going for the crappy gold or black fill-in like I've seen on other figurines. But there are also a few flaws in the designs of these as well. These ribbons here should have had a color fill. along with the engravings of the weapons' names. What's more, it appears that both of these weapons have ring hammers to them. This should only be the case for Ivory, though. Ebony features a spur hammer, while Ivory is the one with the ring hammer. We can clearly see that two separate molds here were made, since the ejector ports are on opposite sides with each gun. So why couldn't they get the hammers right, too? Also, those haven't been color-filled either. Speaking of color filling, Ivory here has been filled in black for the weapon's name, and inscription on the other side of the weapon. It should be gold like Ebony. And for those of you who think that I'm going to touch on the obvious misspelling here, that's actually right, if you can believe it or not. Nell Goldstein, the creator of Dante's guns, deliberately misspelled works to honor her son Rock, who, in his youth, made her a medal with the same misspelling, until Dante had his guns tuned up by Rock, who recognized the origin of the word and decided to correct it. Guy sounds like a bit of an asshole. His mother did something out of love for him, and he goes and erases it because he's embarrassed? Fuck that guy, am I right? Also, the manufacturer probably could have bored a deeper hole here for the barrel instead of just making a little divot. Final thing that I really have to critique here is that the guns are one solid piece. Compare this with a couple of the accessories from my Resident Evil figurines. The slides here are operable, as well as the magazines. Seems more effort went into the design of Claire and Jill's weapons here over Dante's. Of course, those are from different companies. Alright, before I cover the last minute thing, there are two more details that I forgot to mention. One, Dante is wearing his mother's amulet. Two, his coat hasn't been ripped at the sleeve here. This, along with the state of his rebellion, tells me that this figurine is Dante prior to confronting Virgil. So I'm kind of curious why they decided to add Force Edge as an accessory. Not that I'm complaining, love the sword, even if the seller did break it, but why not tatter the one coat sleeve? Also, did you really have to hollow out the back of the amulet? Martin Binder does not approve. And finally, we have this brick-patterned base. Not much to say about it or its design here. I'm guessing this is supposed to be the ground just outside the Devil May Cry office.
Damn it! You guys totally wrecked my shop, and I haven't even named it yet!
And here we reach our conclusion on the subject. It has its flaws, but it's nothing that a little more attention to detail and TLC for the accessories and packaging can't fix. I love the detail that they put into designing his outfit and the texturing of the skin, but maybe next time I should ask for more detailed pictures or buy something closer to like new condition. This was completely through a fault of my own that I ended up with something lesser than I expected, but it is acceptable. Guess in the future I will just have to get my hands on the deluxe version. And here endeth the review. Be sure to tune in for more down the line, and try checking out my other self sometime as well. Maybe one of these days he'll end up hitting the jackpot with his streams. Until next time.